birthday. I know I'm not fooling you. I am here and I am live. Happy April, April 1st. Holy cow. Can you believe we have now kicked into April? I have no idea where the whole year has gone. If you're like me, you're like, what the heck? We are past the holidays. We're into 2022. We're coming into quarter two of the year. I don't know. And now we're going to be talking about summer. Holy cow. Next, of course, we have Easter. So, but before that, we have a special birthday coming up in our family. It's been quite the year. So, if all of you have been keeping track, this year has been a big year here at the Jensen Four House, and we're very excited about it. Not only did I turn 50 in February, yes, I know, 50 is fabulous, 50 is amazing, and I feel very blessed that I made it to that age. Let's just be honest. 50, probably at one point, I remember when we were all young, we're like, oh, when we're 21, it'll be great. And then you turn 30 and you're like, oh, what's the next one? And then it's the 40, and oh, it's the whole feeling of like your kids telling you, you're old. Well, you're getting old. Or you have that friend who just loves to tell you, oh, you're getting old. You should do something about that. Well, now I'm 50, and you know what? Yep. And I even have the shirt on today that says good moms say a lot of bad words, and that's pretty much it. And that's no fooling. That's no April Fool there. Good moms do say a lot of bad words. Just saying. And good real estate agents, you just never know what might come out of our mouths some days. But that's why we love what we do. So besides my birthday that came this year, we've got Ava turning 16. Oh, that's a whole sweet and sassy and whole mischievous thing right there with the sweet 16 happening. That is crazy. And that just sets you back to where when you were, well, when I was first pregnant, I guess. It was one of those things where I can remember when, and now she's got 1 horsepower, literally a horse, and now she's talking about needing another horsepower, a car, to get to the other horse. It's like, oh, where did this go? And then you wonder where your money goes. Don't even know what to tell you there, folks, because I know where mine goes. Right out the window for Tweedledee 1 and Tweedledee number 2. And Tweedledee number 1, Austin, is graduating this year. So I don't know if it all just came at once or someone saying, you know what, take it on. You can do it. I'm hoping that's what they're saying up above because I'm still trying to take it all on. So I'm not sure what's going on with our Instagram. So I am going to maybe click off Instagram and click back on and see what's going on because it says that it's still kind of thinking over there where we're good over here on the Facebook. No idea why. So let's see what happens over here. It looks like we're good. Looks like we've got some people connecting on. So I think we're set. So happy April 1st. All right, let's jump in because a lot of people are really scared this last quarter of home buying, home selling. And this is a whole new quarter we're jumping into, and we're getting ready to head into the summer, which is really our busiest time of year, at least for me over the past, previous to COVID, it was always a really busy time of year. This whole April till about August was because of everybody transitioning schools and locations and jobs and whatever it may be. But when COVID hit, let's just be honest, there really was no downtime, at least for me. And I was very fortunate because I continued to work. I stayed working. I created my home office and I created my outdoor space to be my home office, which gave me the opportunity to still be with my family and my kids and still work. I was very lucky that way and very blessed. So that's amazing. But what is happening now, everybody's back at school. People are still working from homes. And I got this statistic from a very good friend of mine. We're going to have on the show at some point. His name is Steven. He's with City Furniture. Steven, if you're watching, just gave you a plug. we were discussing staging and home tips and everything, and he mentioned that 80 million people still work from home, still to this day. And we know that's a fact because a lot of our friends, our family, I know my husband has employees that, they still are working around people working from home. And so that home space work area is still very, very important. And honestly, it's going to be one of those things. If you are a seller, it's going to be a highlighted point with your home when you're going to stage it to sell, or you're starting to figure out, what should I do with this room? Do I clear it out? Do I make it have a little office and maybe a few storage things? Yes. Show that it is very versatile. That one room is. It's a big thing. And going into the summer, you are going to see a lot of buyers looking for that home office space still. So if you are a seller and you're starting to think about the staging things, and what am I going to do with this clutter or that clutter? Do I just empty it out? Or there's a room that you don't use, create it into that flow of very versatile of being that of a home office. Maybe you even turn it into a slight home office / gym area. People still are working out from home. People are still working out, period. We saw a huge uptick of individuals deciding to work out at home, deciding to take up jogging, boxing, Pilates, yoga, whatever your thing was, you were doing it from home. And more than likely, you've still gotten the routine of being able to do it at home. So it's a big deal, that home office / workout area, if you're able to put it together like that. People are still going to be looking for that. So as you're going into from now into the spring, into the summer, and you're starting to think of that mentality of, what can I do and what should I do? One of your big things should be, hey, let's turn this little area into this and that, or give it the space that's openness that lets them think, well, I could do this, I could do that. But again, it varies on that buyer. If they're more of a visual, or if they're more of, I see a clean slate, I want to create it my own. So you've got to be very, I guess less is more, but give them the opportunity to maybe think, this could be this, or this could be that. And as you're going into the spring and into the summer, like I said, it's one of our busiest times of year. And as a seller, what we're seeing, and it was just reported from the National Association of Realtors just recently, that even though we have this low inventory, you as a seller, you're going to have a huge opportunity, as you know already, to sell your home. And what's going to happen is all of those buyers coming in are actually interested buyers, and they are going to jump at an opportunity, especially if they see something they like. Buyers are walking in and they are determined. They've either probably already missed out on maybe on one or two other homes. So they are ready. They are ready for the hustle. They are ready to jump in. And if they see something they like, they're not going to go home and maybe wait a week or two about it like we did in the past. Let me go home. I've seen 3 houses. I'm going to wait and think about it a couple days. That house will probably be gone in a couple days. We all know that. We've seen it. We've heard it. We've experienced it. So we need to take every opportunity. So as a seller, please know that this is a great time to sell. Do not be fooled on this glorious day that selling is not a good idea. Selling is a good idea if you've weighed the pros and cons. And the con can be, if I sell, where am I going to move to? That's a big con, and that's a struggle that a lot of individuals are thinking in the back of their head. And I myself, I'll be honest, I'm thinking I'm going to be putting our house on the market here soon. And it's like, okay, if we sell, where can we move to so we can stay in the same school district? What are my options of how much do I have to increase my sales price, or where can I be? So all of those things play a factor as a seller. And as a real estate agent, if I'd love the opportunity to sit down and go through this with you, but you need to have those bullet points and realistically think about what, where, if, when this could happen. Because you more than likely, when you put your house on the market, it's a good price, it's in a great area. And again, if it's something that you have focused on in schools. I'm sure other individuals are going to be focusing on the location, which is schools, hospitals, getting on and off I-4, different toll roads. It's a big factor. So if you have one of those prime locations as a home, be prepared, be ready. Don't be like, I'll put a house on the market and let's see what happens. You've got to be prepared and you've got to be ready. And you've got to understand that you may get influx with more buyers than what you think, but the buyers coming through are going to be prepared and they are going to be approved and they're going to be ready to go. So mentally, get in the mindset that this is it. What are we going to do and where are we going to go? Talk to your agent if it hasn't happened to me myself. Talk to them about the options. Discuss where you can go. Discuss if you haven't already been approved to purchase another home. You need to do that now. As soon as you put your home on the market, you yourself should be approved or have a game plan of what you're going to do. Maybe you're going to rent because you're not sure where you can go right now and you're not going to settle. So maybe it is you're going to rent, okay? So those are options, but rewarned, okay? Rental rate right now is really high. It's almost higher than a mortgage amount right now. So if you are thinking about renting, think long and hard about it. And like I just said earlier, what are your pros and cons? Renting, owning. Do I rent for the next 6 months? And can I find a 6-month lease that will allow me to get out of it in case I find a home that I love? I don't know. You got to think about all this stuff, okay? So these are things going into the spring and the summer that a lot of sellers are going to have to think about as you're going into this. I'm not trying to scare you, okay? Please look at me. I am not trying to scare you. I'm trying to give you all the options. I'm trying to help you be realistic about your options. And I guess be a little bit the devil's advocate at the same time, because gosh, you only know I would love to list your house. I would love to sell your house, but do I want unhappy sellers and unhappy buyers when I do it? No, I want everybody to be happy. I want you to all be excited because as an agent, I work off referrals and I end up becoming friends with a lot of my clients. I stay in touch with you because I want to know how your experience was. I want to know how your house is. You know, I may end up living across the street from you. So why would I want to burn a bridge? Sorry, that's not going to happen. So I want to make sure that everything is taken care of and I want to make sure you're happy. So going into this, I'm going to ask a lot of questions and your lender's going to ask a lot of questions. So as a seller, don't be scared. Don't be fooled. There's a lot of opportunity out there and we're only going to see more opportunity if you haven't already as we're going into the summer from the spring right now. We are seeing homes pop up. I mean, literally last night I pulled up an area and this morning when I woke up, there were 4 more listed. Yay, that's awesome. So that as an agent will tell you, and as a seller and as a buyer, things happen overnight. And that's what you want to hear as well as a buyer. You want to know opportunity is coming. So as a seller, be prepared, be ready. Less is more, as you all know. And we're going to do a session one day coming up soon with Stephen over at City Furniture. And they over there, they do work with a lot of buyers and sellers on staging. And of course, after purchasing your home, giving you ideas to make it everything that you want it to be or saw. Because you know, as a buyer, you go through walking these model homes and you're like, this is what I want. How do I get it? Little did you know, someone like a Stephen over at City Furniture has basically furnished this whole house. So there's opportunity there. And we're going to discuss all of that because going into this, you want to make sure that your home is ready to be sold. And every little corner is either open or gives the opportunity of pulling someone in saying, this is why I want this house. So sellers, take these all into consideration. And don't forget, one of the tips I gave you when I first started this show over 2 years ago was get a big tub, go to Walmart, Target, wherever it is, and literally label kitchen, master bathroom, room 1, 2, 3, 4, living room. And when you know you've got a showing, take that box and that tub, scrape everything that's on the countertops or wherever it may be, a desk or a children's room or your bedroom or your bathroom, put it all in there, put the lid on it, and go put it away. So that way, when the the potential buyers come through, you know exactly where everything goes because you know you've all been in this situation where you have company come over or guest or a party or you've already started selling your home. You forget where that went. You're like, where did I put that? Where I can't remember where I shoved it in what cabinet. What drawer did I put it in? Did I put it behind the couch? Did I put it underneath the bed? Here, it's labeled. You're ready. And remember, buyers know you're leaving. So don't be afraid to have that tub out or that box out because they know and then they see that you're in the process of leaving. So just put it somewhere, okay? You're fine with that. So, as a buyer, here we go with the hustle of getting your home, the hustle of making it happen. So, real briefly, we're going to have a quick little intermission because, yep. All right. So, yep. Okay. Sorry, brief intermission right there. Needless to say, buyers, here we go. The hustle of finding your home. Okay. There you go. You're good. The hustle of finding your home. So you have got to take every precaution necessary to make sure that if you love this house, you want this house, how can I make this house happen and how can it be mine? Okay. That's what you need to know and that's what you need to do. And we have talked about this many times, but I can't tell you enough times that when I get a buyer and we start talking and they're like, okay, I want this, I want this, I want that. And we'll start going through the checklist of the things that they need to do or should have done already. And it's not. The top thing we need to do, and the first thing I'm going to ask you as a buyer is, hey, have you been pre-approved? Are we ready to move in that direction? How much can we spend? How much have you saved? Because there is a percentage down when you buy a house. Okay, don't be fooled. The VA loans, yes, we're 100% financing. But if you're not a VA, you're looking at anywhere between 3.5% to 5% to 10% to maybe 20% down, depending on the loan program. So you have to be ready. But also don't just be ready, be prepared, be over prepared. Because we can get in a situation where you may need an extra couple dollars for the closing costs, or something may have come up where insurance, as we talked to Diana last week with Universal Insurance, may be more than what you anticipated. And when it comes down to the wire, we're $500 or we're $1,000 short because you have to pay insurance so many months in advance. You just don't know. We're all here to help you predetermine in a way with a good faith and estimates. But again, they're estimates, okay? They're estimates, and we're going to advise you as best we can. But things pop up. So you've got to be prepared, but over prepared to a point, okay? So when we go into this, that's the first step, knowing that we're pre-approved and how much we can shop for. And through that, we'll know, because I don't want you house poor eating ramen noodles and McDonald's unless that's totally what you want to do. I want you to be able to enjoy your home. I want you to be able to enjoy it to the fact that the kids and you, if there are kids, you can still do certain things over the weekends. Oh, so does Coco. She wants you to have that as well. So we need to make sure that all of that is taken into place. She's giving her 3 cents. Yes, I know. So with all that said, she's going to keep barking, isn't she? Yep. She is. Yep. And she's going to tell you need to buy a house. Yep. Told you. And then she's going to tell you that you need to be pre-approved. Aren't you, Coco? Maybe? Yes. All right. I swear, it's never a dull moment at the house. No. So hopefully her mother will come get her and take her away. Not quite sure. Again, this is why we're live and totally unscripted. So maybe she'll stop talking for a few minutes. All right, buyers, pre-approval, get it done, get it snapped up and get it figured out. We got to find out that that's done first step. Next, when we go into a house, are you prepared? Are you prepared that if you love this house, that we're going to make an offer and we're going to move forward? Because if you're not prepared at that point, there's going to be another person coming in behind you and they may be prepared. So you got to be ready. Got to be ready. And what that means is we're going to go in strong. Are you going to come in $20,000, $25,000 under list price? More than likely, no. That's not the market that we're in. And we're going to advise you of that. More than likely, when I go to out with a buyer and I call the agent about the listing, I'm going to ask them, are there already contracts in place? How many showings do you have today? How many showings do you have tomorrow? Most importantly, if I bring a strong offer, is your seller going to wait on it? How many days, how many hours before they make a decision? Where is the whole process in this? That's our game plan. And as an agent, I need to have that game plan. So when I meet with you, the buyer, I can tell you exactly what we're going to do when we walk in this house. And if you love it, this is what we have to do to make the steps correct and make it happen for you to win. That's the name of the game. We want to win right now. We don't want to have to see 20 houses and lose 20 contracts. And then finally on house number 21, we win it. I want to make it happen sooner than later. And so do you. All right. So we're going to advise you as best we can. Yep. She's going to do it again. Yep. One more time. No. She's not going to listen. She's about as good as the kids around the house. I'll tell you what. Nobody wants to listen. So next step we want to do is we want to make sure that we go into this with as limited amount of contingencies as possible. We need to make sure that we have a very low inspection period. We need to also make sure we've seen a lot of people waiving appraisals. Okay. And I have a lot of clients ask, where's the rise in all these sales prices? Well, it's appraisals being waived, and then it's also people paying over appraisal, and they don't care because they're paying out of pocket. The appraisal, if it comes in at 400, the appraisal comes in at 400. We wrote the contract at 425. That's $25,000 over the appraisal amount that you as a buyer have to bring to the table, plus your 3.5%, 5%, or 10% down, plus your closing cost. All right. So when you go into this and you're like, I'm going to waive up my appraisal contingency and I want to go above and beyond, remember, all of that is extra out of your pocket. So if you don't have the cash to do that, we shouldn't do that. We should stick in our lane. All right. If you've got an extra $5,000 and you're like, okay, if it comes in at 400 and we wrote it for 405, I've got the extra $5,000 to cover it. I'm good with that. If you don't, you need to tell me. And I know we walk into these homes and we're like, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Do anything you have to. Okay, well, there's a point. I can do anything, but can you? So we want to work together as a team, and we want to communicate as a team what we can do and what we can't do, all right? We will try to do everything possible to get the winning situation, but it comes down to that. And that's why we're seeing a lot of prices of homes continue to rise, is because individuals don't care. They're coming with cash. They don't care that basically over the appraisal, they'll pay that $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 because they've got the extra cash. They want that home that bad. So remember, when we go into this, we've got the appraisal contingency, and a lot of us are using the escalation clause. What is an escalation clause? It's not as using an escalator and going up and down, but it's a little bit like that. Basically, your escalation clause it's an addendum that we write as an agent going into this. You know, when you go to bid, you go to an auction, you got the little banners, 1, 2, yep. This escalation clause basically does that for us in the process, where we know there's multiple bids. We're going into a multiple bid situation, and we know because I, as your agent, and hopefully another agent, if you are working with someone, is asking these questions. How many contracts? How many people are seeing the house? How many people are seeing the house tomorrow? When are we making the offer stop and accepting the offer when it comes to the table? If that makes sense. Sorry, I'm not sure if I said that right. But when are you and your seller making a decision? Is it today? Is it tomorrow? If I bring a strong offer, are you accepting it? So we need to know that. So when we go in, we write the offer. Okay, we're going to give you the offer at, let's just say $300,000, okay? And the list price is for $290,000. So we're already going $10,000 over list price, all right? Now, you as a buyer have said, I have, just in case, the $10,000 over, plus I've got another $5,000. Okay, so do you want to write the escalation clause up to $305,000? Yes. All right. So what that means is, let's say an offer comes in on the house at 300,000. Our offer's at 300,000. So with the escalation clause, it will allow the listing agent to go ahead and increase our offer to 301,000 without having to call me, without having to ask. Let's say the other contract's the same way. So we'll just keep going back and forth, but our max is 305. So we go up in $1,000 increments until we're beat out. So again, it's like you're at a bidding war. We're driving up the price, but we're sticking to where we can afford, right? I have the peanut gallery. She's still here. She's not leaving. She's going to give her 3 cents. So she's going to join in. So that's what the escalation clause does. So if the appraisal, let's say the appraisal doesn't come in. Hang on one second. All right, we're back. Sorry, nothing like live action going on at the Ford Jensen house. So with that said, next so the appraisal goes out. Appraisal comes in. Appraisal comes in at 385. Our offer was 390. So now we're at $5,000 over the appraisal value. And we offered them 305,000 and they accepted it. So now the 5,000 plus the additional monies, that's what you are responsible for bringing, plus your 3.5%, 5%, 10%, 20% down, and your closing costs. Take that all into consideration when you're writing these offers and you love the house, but you are wanting to make anything happen to get it. These are the things you have to think about, and you have to realistically reel in, how much cash do I have, and am I willing to do this and that? So this is all about winning, but is it realistic for you as you go into this? You've got to think about this, and you've got to talk to your agent about it, because I, as an agent, will ask you and we'll do whatever we can to make it work, but we need to know where we need to stop. Okay, we need to know that when we stop, you know why we stopped, but also it's a stopping point that's comfortable for you and your family, or for you when you go into buying your first house or your second house or your third house, or it's an investment home. Okay, so we need to know about all these situations, because springtime is great. The market is here. The opportunities are here, and they're always popping up. But are these situations best for you right now? And we want to make sure it is. So that kind of gives it in a nutshell as to what could happen with the multiple offer situations, and what we as an agent can do to help you as a buyer win with multiple offers. The market's great. Again, the title of today's show is Don't Be Fooled. Buy now, sell now. As we know, the interest rates are going up, and they're going to continue to go up. And we've been saying this since December. So take advantage, talk to your local lender. If you haven't already, talk to them. If you don't have a local lender, that's what I'm here for. I hope that after the 2 years of me doing this, I've become a good resource of information, and you feel comfortable. You can call, text me, instant message me, and ask me these questions, because if I don't know them, I'm going to honestly tell you I don't know it. And I'm going to find somebody that can assist you and help you with the right answers. So this is the name of the game, is trying to help and be a resource for all of you out there. And that's why I started Why Not with Lisa, is because why not? What else was I going to do? And why not? I wanted to be a good resource of information to all of you. So with that said, I would love to invite you all to visit my website, www.lisaford.com, or reach out to me via Instagram or at Facebook, and let's chat more about the market and see what's going on. So happy April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. I hope you all enjoy your day as much as Coco and I will. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye.